Well, hello everyone, it's Shen here. I thought I'd sit out here on the porch and drink some tea and talk a little bit about whatever comes to mind. Huh. Well, we got Kitty. Kitty's coming to see me, huh? Little tinsel kitty. And Kermie's over there. What you doing? Are you coming up here to see me? Tinsel's coming up here to see me, to rub against me and shed, huh? Oh, gotta be careful, huh? Gotta be careful. Yeah, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about Reiki. And so, a lot of people have kind of a misconception about Reiki, because, it was kind of popular back in the 80s and into the 90s, and it became a kind of a fad. All these new age people kind of getting into it. And so back in the day, I kind of ignored it because I thought it was just kind of, I don't know what to think about it, people kind of waving their hands around 5 feet away from somebody else, I'm adjusting your aura. I'm adjusting your chakra, Kitty's after my tea. And so I always had kind of a practical way of thinking about like energy work. Because when I was a teenager, I started learning Shaolin Kung Fu, and so I was taught different types of meditation and that. And I don't know if I really believed in energy work or Qi until probably about a year and a half into learning Kung Fu. My instructor, he would have us, when we were in the middle of this really heavy duty workout, we'd do all these kicks, and for about 20 minutes, and then he would just have us sit right down, and start and try to meditate right from that real extreme workout. So of course you're breathing heavy and you're dying, trying to get kind of control of your breathing and your heart rate. And so he had us sit down and of course kind of put our hands in the proper posture or mudra, and more than just a mudra, the actual tips of the fingers and the crack or the crease on the inside of your thumb actually connects pressure points. And so he told us that, one side connects the mind with the dantian, and the other side would connect the mind with the heart. And so from kind of pressing these points and then, relaxing and focusing or concentrating on each breath being a little bit slower, and of course, you're breathing real heavy from the workout. But after some time, I found that I could just kind of plop down and I could make my heart rate really drop quite quickly, from connecting the pressure points in the mind and breathing. And after a while, you start to feel a sensation down in your dantian, or your hara, your center of gravity, wherever you want to call it. And you feel some, like a bubble or a certain amount of warmth that kind of gathers there. And so then kind of that next stage is to kind of build that warmth. And so, we do all the Shaolin movements and all the breathing with the movements of the arms, and, and that kind of grounding breathing that we would do in the Shaolin moves. And then you would start to feel that when you would breathe, that a certain amount of your breath would kind of translate into how much of this warmth you could build, in that area, in the dantian. And then, you're able to, go into a meditation, and you're really able to slow the breathing and the heart rate down from that that idea of in the middle of the workout, kind of being able to do that to your body. And so then it becomes even easier when you're just sitting there at the regular heart rate, the resting heart rate. You're able to just meditate and go deeper and slow the breathing down even more. And it's not like a contest of slowing the breathing down as much as it's getting every amount of that breath in and down, and feeling that part of that breath, part of each breath, maybe like 1/3 of that, you're feeling is that warmth, and can build that warmth. And so in a way, it's like saying 1/3 of your breath is qi that comes in. And in Chinese medicine, they talk about that. They talk about in their traditional medicine that qi comes from breath, and it comes from the food, what we intake into our body, and then also that each one of us is born with a certain amount of qi that we receive from our parents. A certain spark or gene, they call it, kidney gene, or energy that we receive from both of our parents that came together with conception. And so it's this heaven energy, or this conception energy, that basically is like our little hourglass, and it gives us about the amount of time that we're going to live in this world, because it's really the amount of qi that we have that is like our battery, or like the basis of the qi that then we add to from breath and from the food that we have in our environment. And so anyway, from this practice with the Shaolin, the meditation, then I did become aware of my qi, and it took about maybe 1.5 years. And then I found that I could build that warm feeling, or that pocket of qi, and with the breathing and with the mind, then you could actually start moving it to different parts of the body. You could move that warmth and bring it up, and then keep it at a certain point, and then just breathe in more. And so each time you'd breathe in, you would add like little particles to it, if you imagine that, little glowing particles, and then you would breathe that in, and so you're adding this fuel. And then when you breathe out, you would feel this feeling of compressing that area and spinning it. And so then it would get really warm, really hot. And so from doing that kind of qi breathing and that kind of work, you can actually feel this warm energy, and you can feel it move up through the body as you move it up, and you move it from the dantian, and you move it all the way up to the top of the head and back down the spine, and then back around to the dantian. And you can do it either way. You can push the energy down to the base of the spine, and then bring it up along the back to the top of the head, and then you pull in more qi when you breathe in through the top of the head, and you shoot it down the front of your body. And you can feel it's almost like a warm shower, or a warm wave of qi that flows down. And so this kind of energy breathing, or qi work, was pretty astounding to me, pretty amazing. And so as I talk more about this, and I'll make another little video, because this one's getting kind of long, but I'll talk about how this qi breathing, and just your normal qi that's in your body, how that relates to Reiki, how it's similar and how it's different. So I think this is it for the moment, and I'll make another little video. I don't want to make them too long for Facebook. So thanks for joining me.